to quickly go over a formulaic rendition of how I make a painting. It's not an exact sort of demonstration, but it's just to sort of use a formulaic model to bring forth some of the elements I think about in the order in which I think about them when I make a painting. So I'm going to begin with a very suitable quote from Maurice Denis, a painter from the late 19th, early 20th century. "It is well to remember that a picture, before being a battle horse, a nude woman, or some antidote, is essentially a plain surface covered with colors assembled in a certain order." I've only recently found this quote, but I think it's a good introduction to the way I put my paintings together. So you can see here on the right, there's a little study done in paper, monochrome, gouache, or tempera. And then on the left is a 16 by 10, still very small, drawing, or painting with I do have an underdrawing, and I've already decided on the colors I'm going to use. So that's the first step, is to sort of figure out the color ingredients for the painting. Light pink, a much darker red, and then a still medium green. And so these colors, experimented a bit, I think play well together. And I get a tension between the complementary of the pink and red versus the green as a complementary colors. You'll have to bear with the photos. I'm using indoor lighting, and the camera itself has really sharpened everything. But I think you get a good idea of how I begin. It just simply, as Maurice Denis said, a certain colors in a certain order. And here, the next step would be to fill the canvas with the drawing, with the motif. Obviously, I'm not using a bouquet in real life. I'm just using the study, but it's roughly the same process. And I prefer to use monochrome, or slightly colored grays, as they are easy to correct, and the heavily muted colors serve as a buffer for the more intense colors I'll later place on top. Just like you need at least a small moment of dark and light in a painting to give the painting a sense of values. Moments of gray are necessary to make the more intense colors sing. So in the first step, I established the colors and also the values. I had, the darker green versus the lighter pink. And here I'm getting ready for putting the more saturated colors on top, but just using these grays as sort of, as I said, buffers, or even diplomats. They sort of weld the form together because the gray appears all over the form of all over the drawing, and in a way unites the form together. And then here, this is my last photo. I start to add color to the form, which will sit on the surface that I've first established. I'm taking colors from the bottom part and bringing them to the top. So the green, the hue family green, is placed on top of the pink, and then I'm starting to put a little bit of pink from the top onto the bottom, and the flower that is next to the glass bottle. And then if I had more time, I would have put pink as the color for the reflection in the glass, and I would have also drawn and clarified the forms using some of the red from the red plane, the narrow plane, the stripe. That would have come into play with probably the flowers, and certainly appeared up front. So all the colors would eventually interlace themselves, using the form as an excuse. I'll use an example also of a way I created space. You can see on the far right of the bouquet, in the middle, there's a green. It looks sort of gray, but it's green, moving towards the center. And then moving right to its left is a darker moment, a still yet drawn leaf. Then another moment of green equal to the far green, and then a repetition of this darker value. So it's sort of a checkerboard. going from the far point of the canvas into this, drawing the eye into the center. So that continues a few times throughout the bouquet and serves to sort of lead the eye through the painting. There's a bit more to say. I think I might leave it off here. I just want to show how I'm always that what I establish in the beginning is never violated by anything I do. I'm using the same values, the same colors, and I'm very careful to not to. You can still get that sense I established in the beginning from even this stage with the drawing on top. It still feels like a pattern, but it also reads like a three-dimensional object. The hues in the background make up much of the color in the foreground, and then therefore the color in a way passes between the two layers of space, the background and the foreground, and therefore sort of in a way fusing them together into one final form. Yeah, and that's it. I hope to do more videos shortly. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks.